Let's go. I'm Christopher Pitt, and welcome to the Pursuit to Own podcast. At Pursuit to Own, we are pursuing ownership at every level of life. Whether it's mindset, business, life, or real estate, our goal is to get you from renting to owning your future. See, I felt the pain of poverty growing up as a sharecropper in zip code 27843. I understand the struggle of living in a one-bedroom shack, owning nothing, not even running water. But I turned that pain into purpose by becoming a premier affordable housing community developer, providing 27,843 ownership opportunities in marginalized communities. Here's the truth. Ownership starts in your mind, regardless of your situation or location. Whether you are escaping the poverty trap, buying a home, or starting a business, the pursuit to own mindset is the key to unlocking your zip code and success. Join me to discuss new innovative ways to own real estate with tokenization, blockchain, crowdfunding, fractional ownership, and so much more. Let's go. Yo, we are here, guys. We are here finally. We're at DETV Studios. Look at that sign right there, guys. You see it? Oh, it's an amazing day. This has been a lot of work to get here today, but at the end of the day, we want to be able to bring some value to the community. We're not here just to talk. Really want to make an impact through this lens to you. So we're just gonna, walk through, see how the first day looked like, see the set, right? This is fun. This is what we're doing. You get to take a day in the life, what it would be like for you to be on this show as well. So come on, there's a great building, as you can see, legacy building, great location, but it's a lot of energy that comes to this building. We hope and pray that you're a part of that show when we come down. Up to the big boy room. Let's see if we can catch Mr. Thomas. He's probably hard at work, creating something. Creating something. You can't stop. You can't stop the grind, baby. The grind is real. But come on back. We can move. We can do things. Come on, we got a whole nother set. You want to check? Oh, we got me. So, this is the place to be, guys. DETV is where creativity happens. It's where it impacts intersection right here on Market Street. As always, stay tuned and stay in pursuit. Let's go. Welcome to the Pursuit to Own podcast, where we want you owning at every level of life. That's right. Every level of life, because that's important. And we're gonna come back to that, and you're gonna know why that's important. See, today is a great day, guys. We are finally back. Baby, we are back. Back to bring you the value you need to get you to where you're going. That is what Pursuit to Own is all about. Now, today is gonna be special because we're gonna give you that first powerful step. Like, everybody wants to know, what's step one? Well, I'm gonna give you this step one. I'm gonna give you step one, but you gotta stay tuned for a little while, right? We got a little journey to get down to, all right? Because the first thing you wanna know is, what is Pursuit to Own? Glad you asked. I am glad you asked, right? So Pursuit to Own is an organization that provides financial opportunities and real estate opportunities in your community, right? In your community. See, we do everything in the value chain with real estate, right? So anything regarding real estate, that's what we do. Now, personally, I know you haven't met me. I'm Christopher Pitt, but some know me from different reasons, right? Some may know me as the football player. Some may know me as the real estate broker. Some may know me as the real estate developer. But very few know Christopher Pitt 1.0. That's right, 1.0 was a sharecropper. And not to get all into my story, you can go to my TED Talk where I have over 1 million views so you can get the whole background story. But let's just start with part of the story because it's important. Where you start in life matters, right? So a little about me. So a sharecropper, if you don't know, is literally one step above slavery. See, when slavery was abolished, what happened was a master couldn't own you physically, right? They couldn't physically own you anymore. What a sharecropper was, now they financially own you. At the end of the day, they still control you, right? They still own our lives because we was obligated to stay on that farm in the same place we were in the first place. So why is that important? Well, when I tell people this story, some are not shocked because many people in the South went through that. But here's the unique part about my story that most people don't understand. I'm gonna try to give it some context, right? Imagine, when I tell this story, their first thought is, oh yeah, 50, 60, maybe a little bit of the 70s. But this was happening to me in the 90s, guys. So let me put it in the context for you. So imagine putting a kid, let's say a kid from 2025. Today, these kids have what? They have iPhones, they have iPads, they have streaming video games, they have everything you can imagine, voice control, they have Alexa. They have Alexa, people, right? Imagine taking that kid and you're gonna put him in an era, boom, where that kid is now looking at a rotary phone. Anybody remember those? The rotary phones, yeah. Rotary phones, pay phones, beepers, all right? Imagine that. And my favorite, AOL. I know you hear this, remember this, yeah. So I know some of you remember that sound. Some of you are old enough to remember the sound, but imagine what that kid would felt like, right? That kid in that environment is completely frustrated. That kid in that environment can't operate because why? He is too advanced. He have already living in the future state. He can't go back to when things were like it was in the past. He don't know what a payphone is. He don't know how to use any of this stuff. He don't know what dial-up is. He don't know it takes an hour just to get online, right? Now, that happened because they're more advanced. Now, what happened to me was the flip side of that, right? So I got put into an environment that I'm behind in everything. I mean, everything I am behind. See, I didn't realize this new world was there until I went to school. Once I started going to school, I started to see this new world that I had to compete in. Guys, it was hard. It was rough to process. It was rough to get through, right? And I remember something so distinctly, and this is a lesson. So, you know, this is definitely a lesson that you want to stay tuned with. I remember when I was in class, I had a teacher would walk up to me, and this teacher would say, son, why are you back here doing your work at the last minute? And me, I looked at him, I didn't say anything. He just looked at me and pretty much in disgust, I guess, and just disappointment and walked off. You know, and I say 2 weeks later, teacher come back in, son, you're back in here doing this work at the last minute. You're never gonna make it in life if this is how you do things. And I had to say something. I finally got the courage. I said, sir, with all due respect, you know what that means, right? All due respect. Sir, this is not the last minute I'm doing this work. This is literally the first minute I'm doing this work. Because see, I didn't have a ride to the library like everybody else. My mom didn't have a car. My mom didn't have driver's license. So the only way I can get the information, I depended on my friends to bring me the book to school that they had a whole week to read, and I had like 30 or 40 minutes to do an assignment. And we looked at each other for like a minute, and nobody said anything. And then he walked off. I think his mind was blown from that standpoint. But what's important is the lesson is when you visually see something, you can get the wrong perception of something in life, right? That happens to a lot of people, right? That's why you never know what someone's going through. But in his mind, I was doing it at the very last minute. But what he didn't know is that was the first minute I had to able to do the work. So think about that when you are, you think you see something and see someone and you don't know their life. You cannot make an assumption about someone unless you understand what they're going through. And we do that just terrible, in my opinion, as a society and everything else. So let's get back to the most powerful first step. See, all this stuff comes back to winning at every level in life. And for me, step one is something that everyone that I know tend to miss. If you're first generational, if you're looking for that first home, you're looking for that first piece of real estate, right? This is the step you guys miss. You want to know what it is? All right, here's what I want you to do. I want you to get up if you're in your home. I want you to walk to the bathroom. If you're in the car, I want you to pull that visor down, right? I want you to close your eyes for 10 seconds, right? Now I want you to open them. And that person in the mirror is who we're talking about. That is your first step. See, you got to know who that person is in that mirror. Why? Because that person in the mirror has been with you every day of your life. That person in the mirror knows everything you did wrong in your life. It knows every secret in your life. It knows everything you wish you would have done in your life. That person in the mirror is the most important person. We don't look at that person first. We're so focused on that result. We get excited, we get motivated. Oh, we want this. But wait a minute. It's a lot more to it. See, I throw people off. See, Pursuit to Own, we operate a little different than most people. I'm not your typical realtor, right? I'm not here just trying to get you to buy a home for me. No. That's not what we do. See, I don't sell real estate. I serve real estate with a purpose. So I look for individuals that are hardworking and they are on the journey. Because what I am doing is I am not trying to hold hands. What I'm trying to do is teach you how to stand. That is what I'm doing, right? And I need that kind of person. But let's get back to the person in the mirror, right? Let's get back to the person in the mirror. Because when I meet someone, I've been doing real estate for so long that when I meet a person, I already know the type of financial constraints it can be already. I already know what type of credit constraints this can be already. What I don't know is you, right? What I don't know is you. And I throw people off with that. Why? Because the minute I understand that you're a first generation and you're doing this for the first time, I know all the other things that we don't talk about that's involved, right? I know the fear you have. I know the people around you don't understand. And then sometimes I even know how you self-sabotage yourself because we're looking for a way out, right? I know all these things. And you are going to go through these things on your journey. See, it's not a transaction for someone that's on that, a first-time home buyer that's coming from just say an underserved community, and you're the only one. You're going to be the first one in your family to own a home, right? No. It ain't just a transaction. That is a transformation. That is a transformation, right? Because you're going to have to go through so many things mentally, emotionally to get you to that point. And it's okay. It's okay. And we can't skip it. That's why we get so much remorse and people just dissatisfied with their life because they don't want to look in the mirror, right? You have to take a moment to look in the mirror. And I need you to do something for me. I need you to treat that person just a little bit better. Because that person is going to be with you forever. Now, I know it was a time in your life when you personally went through something. We're going to call this the bad bag of life, right? You put all your bag stuff in this bag, right? And you don't want anybody to know about it. You don't want anybody to know about it. You're tying this bag up, right? Anything bad happen goes in there, right? So, but you do this, like you remember the time when you had that bad day, or maybe that very bad week, or bad month, or bad year. Guess what happened? You found out who you were that day. You found out who you were. And you also found out who was there for you or not. It's an amazing thing, right? And one of the things that we do when we go through things in life is we hide it, right? We mask it. And that's one of the things that I had to overcome. And that's why I'm talking to you, right? See, I would never show this picture of me being in a tobacco field 10 years ago, right? I was still embarrassed by it. And I was a prisoner of my own pain. I know what it feels like. But what we all get wrong is if you overcame something in life, if you overcame it, literally overcame something, that is your superpower, man. People view that as something that is weak. That's the weakest point in your life. No, it's actually the damn strongest time in your life because you got through it. And if you can get through that, you can get through any other thing that comes your way, because it can't be worse than that, right? So you have to operate in a different manner. So when we are trying to create generational wealth, it's a big slogan word. Somebody has to start it, right? Somebody in that has to start in your family. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. Who has the courage to start this thing? That's what Pursuit to Own is built around. Those courageous people that are willing to go out and change their life, right? So it's so serious to me that I need people. I'm looking for people that literally are saying, I am going to break the poverty chain from my last name forever. I'm going to break the poverty chain from my last name forever. And I mean ever, ever. Like, that's what kind of tenacity you got to have when you're attacking your goals. See, it can't just be about owning your first home. Because guess what? Life doesn't stop when you own your first home. Life still happens. You may solve a few problems, but new one will appear. So you got to be prepared for that. You got to be prepared for that, right? So you can't just be in love with the actual property. I need you to fall in love with the process. Because if you fall in love with the home buying process, it's not just for you to buy a home. It will give you principles in life to live by, right? Because like I said before, I'm not interested in the transaction. I'm interested in your transformation. And it comes at different levels. And real estate or any level of business can apply to your life and how you run it, right? So what we do is we're looking for you. We're looking for hardworking people. If you're at Christiana Care, you're a nurse, I'm looking for you, right? If you're a teacher in Red Clay, I'm looking for you, right? Because I'm looking for the people that are deserving and they have a burning desire to want to own their first home or their first investment property with a purpose. Now, we definitely gonna talk about the purpose part in later shows, more to come on that. But we have a plan for you, right? I need you to understand that if you're going out to life and you're going to try something new, you gotta be around the right people. Facts, right? And I wasn't afforded that opportunity. Because you gotta think about it, right? People like coming out. That's when people work with each other. They're like, do me a favor, when you get home tonight, look to your left. If you're out in the social setting, look to your right. I guarantee you, most people you hang out with, you guys are pretty close. Either you're on the same level socioeconomically, maybe a little higher, maybe a little lower, but it's pretty close, right? But it's not, that's by design when you think about it. Once you start thinking about the mindset, it's by design, because guess what happens? You guys live in the same community, right? Guess what? Your kids go to the same school. You go to the same grocery store. So you're around the same group of people all the time. So if you're around and that's all you see, then that's all you're going to pursue in life. And it takes someone to understand, I got to get away from this if I want to go further. And you can't be embarrassed about wanting to go further. You just need to understand the sacrifice that come with it. Because here's the thing, I get told about stress all the time when it comes to real estate. Because real estate comes with risk. And trust me, real estate ain't for everyone. Again, I'm not here to convince you to own real estate, but I am here to prepare you if you are, right? Make sense? See, there's stress regardless. There is going to be stress if you struggle, right? There is going to be stress if you try to succeed. Doesn't matter. Stress is going to be there. It's how you manage it, right? So when you are starting off, again, I'm speaking from my perspective. My perspective of not having anything, right? Growing up with very little resources. I'm speaking from that perspective. I was broken and broke, right? So you got to imagine, like, when you're in that environment, your goal is not to succeed. Your goal is just to get your life stable. That's it. I mean, your only goal is to get stable. Can I get a roof over my head? Can I have food on my table tonight? And that's about as far as people go. That's about as far as people go. And you know why that happens? Because when we get on this stable platform finally in life, you should be proud of that. But you shouldn't stop there. And that's why we don't have generational wealth within our communities, because we use all our energy just to get stable. Facts, right? And you are looking down on where you came from. Again, proud moment. The question is, do you have the pursuit to keep going, right? Because that is when things change, not only for you, but the people watching you, the people in your family, the people that that's gonna come that you're never gonna see in your life, right? You got a chance to change, literally, like change the trajectories of people's lives based on what you do today. And once you start thinking in that mindset, things become different for you, right? You understand what's worthy of the sacrifice, what's worthy of the struggle, because it's not just about you anymore, right? So I'm going to need these hardworking people. So here's the thing. I'm not coming to you saying a maybe. I'm telling you now, I need each and every one of you to stay tuned, follow us on social media, share this with somebody who needs it. I promise you somebody's going to need to hear this today, right? But I'm not up here saying, you know, we talking hypothetical. I'm telling you right now, from the people that can hear my voice, this year, we are going to create 3 to 5 homeowners. That's right, you heard it. 3 to 5 homeowners right in front of you, right in your face, because I need you to see that it's real for them and it's real for you. How can you do that, right? Again, we do everything in the value chain of real estate, right? We have a site and platform coming up that we're raising funds just so I can go out and secure properties that give people, hardworking people just like you, the opportunity to own, because it means that much to me, right? Because I know what it would do for you. So again, we're gonna go back and think about when you're looking in this mirror, what do you see, right? See, for me, when I look in that mirror, I see the version of me today, right? I see someone who had some success. I see someone who had some professional failures. I see someone that, you know, still trying to uphold a promise to his mom. I also see something that keeps me going in life. I still have that tenacity, man. I still have that burn. Like, I'm still that kid that felt behind in life. Like, no matter how much I get in life, I still feel behind. Like, when I look in the mirror, I still see that kid that watched his mom go hungry, right? When I look in my mirror, right, I still remember when me and my sister and brother was holding the door so other drunk men don't come in and try to hurt us or hurt our mom. Like, I remember, hair is still growing, I remember that kid. That kid is still here, right? So when I'm having a rough day or I'm going through something, because trust me, you can't prepare for everything in life. Only thing you can do is learn how to respond to everything in life, right? When it happens, how will you deal with it? That's what you gotta learn. How would you deal with it, right? When I deal with stuff, it gets me that, because I said, if I got through that, I can get through anything. And I need you to do that. So we're gonna take that pain you got and we're gonna turn it into purpose, right? I need you to look in that mirror and say, look, I am done. I am done. I can hear you guys. I want somebody to tell me they are done with being a prisoner of their pain. I want someone to tell me they're done lying to themselves. Done, right? We got to look at the mirror, because once the world sees who you really are, once you understand who you really are, it's unbelievable. What happens is all of that shame, as you can see, me and that tobacco, all that energy you had to hide yourself, now you get to use that same energy to uplift yourself, right? You ain't gotta hide no more, right? Your story should be part of your success. And I'm only telling you this because I just got comfortable doing it myself. But what did that allow me to do? I became comfortable with my story, and I have created a company because of my story so I can help people just like you. That's the power of turning pain into purpose and not being a prisoner, right? So Pursuit to Own, yes, we are a real estate company. We are out here renovating homes, redeveloping homes all day. But nothing makes me happier than rebuilding that person to the person they want to be, right? Nothing makes me happier, right? Because at the end of the day, we all got one life. And I understand what it feels like to be behind. I understand what it feels like it doesn't look like it can be done. But what I'm here to tell you today is, if you got the right mindset and the right people around you, we can make the impossible possible for you. I just need you to know who you are. Know that you are the person with the power to change your life. And I know we're not getting into a lot of the real estate stuff, but it's important that that's the first step, because trust me, we're going to talk about all the amazing things that we got for you in real estate wise, right? We're going to talk about the amazing opportunities. Some people this year, 2025, they're going to own their first home because they came through their pursuit to own process, right? Because I know this step. I know what it feels like. We're going above and beyond, because I need you to see it. I need you to see it. So again, we're going to close this thing out, but take a moment, man. Just take a moment, look in that mirror and be honest with yourself, right? No one's around. Once you understand that you cannot change the past, all you can do is secure your future. That's it. Nothing, if you're breathing, is something that you can't recover from. At the end of the day, it may not be the same, but your life doesn't stop. So once you learn how to harness in on all of that pain and turn it into purpose, I promise you, your life will change. Your life will change. That's why when you see people that are first-time home buyers have such a struggle in getting a home, because why? They are going through so much just to get the home, right? They got to go through years for some people, right? Preparing, trying to get up to this point. They're trying to accomplish this one thing, right? Get the home. It's exhausting. And they get the home, and then what happens? Life doesn't stop. If you were struggling with money then, you're still going to struggle with money then, right? So that's why it's important to give you these habits that make sense, because what we are doing is we have renting habits, and I need you to get ownership habits, right? Renting is temporary. You got to think about it. It doesn't matter what. When you rent something, you ain't intended to stay there forever. It's rent. It's going back somewhere at some point in time, right? So you're not going to have something in a habit that's going to stay with you because you're just renting it. When you learn how to own your habit, it doesn't matter what environment you're in, you can execute. That's the important thing. That's the important thing. And the power of real estate is simple. Why everyone, I think, should take at least a look at it. It's something that can create generational wealth, because at the end of the day, a lot of it is numbers. It is numbers and understanding the market. And it is people like myself that know this game extremely well. And for you to get the guidance you need to, but none of it matters unless you desire it, you want it. Not me, you. So we're gonna close this thing out. And like I said, big news coming. We're gonna need you guys, all the social media, right? Pursuit to own on everything. Because what I'm going to do, and I've never done this before, we're going to be watching this stuff, right? I want you to share it, whatever you can, right? Because I'm going to see the people I can identify the pursuit mindset with. And I'm going to find out these people, what they want to do if they want to pursue home life. And when I find these people, these 35 people, it's going to come from that group. The people that are out there watching this show right now, one of you are coming into this pursuit to own family. And we're going to show the world that ownership is still possible for people just like you. With all that being said, we're gonna close this thing out. It's been great. It's been awesome. Can't wait to be back. So in the meantime, reflect. As always, stay in pursuit. Let's go. Thank you for listening to the Pursuit to Own podcast. If today's episode inspired you, don't stop here. Take the next step toward owning your future. Visit pursuittoown.com to sign up and join our growing community of wealth builders. And don't forget to follow us on social media at Pursuit to Own for updates, tips, and success stories. Together, we're turning dreams into assets. Until next time, stay in pursuit.